The 1st Infantry Division is a mechanized infantry division of the United States Army, and is the oldest continuously serving in the regular army. It has seen continuous service since its organization in 1917 during World War I. It was officially nicknamed the Big Red One, after its shoulder patch, and is also nicknamed the Fighting First. However, the division has also received troop monikers of the Big Dead One and the Bloody First, as puns on the respective officially sanctioned nicknames. It is currently based at Fort Riley, Kansas. World War I. The 1st Expeditionary Division, later designated the 1st Infantry Division, was constituted on 24 May 1917, in the regular army, and was organized on 8 June 1917, at Fort Jay, on Governor's Island in New York Harbor under the command of Brigadier General William L. Sibert, from Army units then in service on the U.S.-Mexico border and at various Army posts throughout the United States. The original table of organization and equipment included 2 organic infantry brigades of 2 infantry regiments each, 1 engineer battalion, 1 signal battalion, 1 trench mortar battery, 1 field artillery brigade, 3 field artillery regiments, 1 air squadron, and a full division train. The total authorized strength of this TO&E was 18,919 officers and enlisted men. George S. Patton, who served as the first headquarters commandant for the American Expeditionary Forces, oversaw much of the arrangements for the movement of the 1st Division to France, and their organization in country. The first units sailed from New York City and Hoboken, New Jersey on 14 June 1917. Throughout the remainder of the year, the rest of the division followed, landing at St. Nazaire, France, and Liverpool, England. After a brief stay in rest camps, the troops in England proceeded to France, landing at Le Havre. The last unit arrived in St. Nazaire the 22nd of December. Upon arrival in France, the division, less its artillery, was assembled in the first training area, and the artillery was at Le Val-d'Ajon. On 4 July, the 2nd Battalion, 16th Infantry, paraded through the streets of Paris to bolster the sagging French spirits. At Lafayette's tomb, one of General John J. Pershing's staff said, "Lafayette, we are here." 2 days later, the 6th of July, headquarters, 1st Expeditionary Division was redesignated as headquarters, 1st Division. On 8 August 1917, the 1st Division adopted the square table of organization and equipment, which included 2 organic infantry brigades of 2 infantry regiments each, 1 engineer regiment, 1 signal battalion, 1 machine gun battalion, 1 field artillery brigade, 3 field artillery regiments, and a complete division train. The total authorized strength of this new TO&E was 27,120 officers and enlisted men. On the morning of 23 October, the first American shell of the war was fired toward German lines by a 1st Division artillery unit. 2 days later, the 2nd Battalion of the 16th Infantry suffered the first American casualties of the war. By April 1918, the Germans had pushed to within 40 miles of Paris. In reaction to this thrust, the Big Red One moved into the Picardy sector to bolster the exhausted French First Army. To the division's front lay the small village of Cantigny, situated on the high ground overlooking a forested countryside. The 28th Infantry Regiment attacked the town, and within 45 minutes captured it along with 250 German soldiers. It was the first American victory of the war. The 28th was thereafter named the Black Lions of Cantigny. Soissons was taken by the 1st Division in July 1918. The Soissons victory was costly. 700 men were killed or wounded. The 1st Infantry helped to clear the St. Mihiel salient by fighting continuously from 11 to 13 September 1918. The last major World War I battle was fought in the Meuse-Argonne forest. The division advanced 7 kilometers and defeated, in whole or part, 8 German divisions. The war was over when the armistice was signed. The division was at Sedan, the farthest American penetration of the war, and was the first to cross the Rhine into occupied Germany. By the end of the war, the division had suffered 4,964 killed in action, 17,201 wounded in action, and 1,056 missing or died of wounds. 5 division soldiers received medals of honor. The division's dog mascot was a Cairn Terrier known as Rags. Rags was adopted by the division in 1918 and remained its mascot until his death in 1936. Rags achieved notoriety and celebrity as a war dog, after saving many lives in the crucial Argonne campaign by delivering a vital message despite being bombed and gassed. Order of battle assigned 1st Infantry Brigade, 16th Infantry, 18th Infantry, 2nd Machine Gun Battalion, 2nd Infantry Brigade, 26th Infantry, 28th Infantry, 3rd Machine Gun Battalion, 1st Field Artillery Brigade, 5th Field Artillery, 6th Field Artillery, 7th Field Artillery, 1st Trench Mortar Battery. Divisional troops: 1st Machine Gun Battalion, 1st Engineers, 2nd Field Signal Battalion. Headquarters Troop Trains: 1st Train Headquarters and Military Police, 1st Ammunition Train, 1st Supply Train, 1st Engineer Train, 1st Sanitary Train. Attached units en route to France and in 1st Training Area: 5th Regiment USMC, Émile Nil La Tour Area, the 28th of February, the 3rd of April 1918. 1st Battalion, 2nd Engineers, Canton G Sector, at times from the 27th of April the 7th of July 1918. French 228th Field Artillery Regiment, French 253d Field Artillery Regiment, 1st and 2nd Battalions of the French 258th Field Artillery Regiment, 4th Battalion, FR 301st Artillery Regiment, 1 Battery, French 3rd COL Artillery Regiment, 3rd and 4th Battalions, French 284th Artillery Regiment, 2nd Battalion, French 289th Artillery Regiment, 1 Battery, FR 3DCL Artillery Regiment, 6th Battalion, FR 289th Artillery Regiment, 2 Batteries FR Trademark, 1 Battery FR Trademark, 1 Battery FR Trademark, FR 5th Tank Battalion, Aisne-Marne Operation FR 42D Aero Square, FR 83D BLN Company, FR 253D FA Porte, FR 11th and 12th Groups of Tanks, Sizeres Sector FR 258th Aero Square, 6th and 7th BLN Companies, 3 Batteries FR 247th FA Porte. Preceding and during the St. Mihiel operation, at times from 8 to 14 September 1918, 8th Observation Square, 9th BLN Company, 58th Field Artillery Brigade and 108th MTN, 76th Field Artillery, 2 batteries, 44th CA, Troops D, F, and H, 2nd Cavalry, 2 platoons, Company A, 1st Gas Regiment, 2 infantry battalions, 6th Infantry Brigade, 2 companies, 51st Pioneer Infantry, 7th MG Battalion, 49 tanks of 1st Tank Brigade, Meuse Argonne Operation, 60th Field Artillery Brigade, 110th MTN, 1st Aero Squadron, 2 DBLN Company, FR 219th Field Artillery, FR 247th Field Artillery, FR 5th Battalion 282d Artillery, Provisional Squadron, 2 de Cavalry, Company C, 1st Gas Regiment, Company C, 344th Tank Battalion, 1st Tank Brigade, Companies B and C, 345th Tank Battalion, 1st Tank Brigade, 362d Infantry, 181st Infantry Brigade, Coblenz Bridgehead 14th BLN Company, MG Elements, FR2 de Cavalry Division, 4th MG Battalion 18–29 June 1919, 7th MG Battalion 20–30 June 1919. Detached service at La Valdaie on the 22nd of August, the 18th of October 1917 with 15th Division during the Second Battle of the Aisne. The 24th of July 1918 with U.S. 90th Division 1st Field Artillery Brigade 1st MTN, with the 15th Division during Aisne-Marne Operation. The 24th of July 1918 in Cizérès Sector 24–28 August 1918, with 42d Division in Meuse-Argonne. Operation 13–31 October 1918, with 2nd Division in Meuse-Argonne. Operation 1–4 November 1918. 1st SNTN, with 3rd Corps the 28th of September the 2nd of October 1918. 1st Engineers, with American forces in Germany after the 9th of August 1919. 2d, 6th Field Artillery Company A, 1st Engineers Companies A, B, C, D, 1st Sup-TNF Hospital 13. Interwar period. The 1st Division returned to the continental U.S. in September 1919, demobilized its wartime TO&E at Camp Zachary Taylor at Louisville, Kentucky, and then returned to New York, with its headquarters located at Fort Hamilton in Brooklyn. On the 7th of October 1920, the 1st Division organized under the peacetime TO&E, which included 2 organic infantry brigades of 2 infantry regiments each, 1 engineer regiment, 1 observation squadron, 1 field artillery brigade of 2 field artillery regiments, 1 medical regiment, 1 division, quartermaster train, and a special troops command replacing the remainder of the division train. The total authorized strength of this TO&E was 19,385. 1st Division was one of 3 infantry divisions and 1 cavalry division that was authorized to remain at full peacetime strength. It was the only regular Army division assigned to the 2nd Corps area, which also included the 27th Infantry Division of the New York National Guard, the 44th Infantry Division of the New Jersey, New York, and Delaware National Guards, the 21st Cavalry Division of the New York, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and New Jersey National Guards, and the 77th, 78th, and 98th Infantry Divisions and the 61st Cavalry Division of the Organized Reserves. This was the organization that existed in the 2nd Corps area for the duration of the interbellum period. 1st Division adopted a new peacetime TO&E in preparation for war on 8 January 1940, which included 3 infantry regiments, 1 military police company, 1 engineer battalion, 1 signal company, 1 light field artillery regiment of 3 field artillery battalions and 1 medium field artillery regiment of 2 field artillery battalions, 1 medical battalion, and 1 quartermaster battalion. The authorized strength of this TO&E was 9,057 officers and enlisted men. 1st Infantry Division reorganized again on 1 November 1940 to a new TO&E, which added a reconnaissance troop, and organized the 2 field artillery regiments into a division artillery command, and beefed up the strength to a total authorized strength of 15,245 officers and enlisted men. World War II. Shortly after the beginning of World War II in Europe, the 1st Division was moved to Fort Benning, Georgia, on 19 November 1939, where it supported the infantry school as part of American mobilization preparations. It then moved to the Sabine Parish, Louisiana area on the 11th of May 1940 to participate in the Louisiana maneuvers. The division next relocated to Fort Hamilton on 5 June 1940, where it spent over 6 months before moving to Fort Devens, Massachusetts, on 4 February 1941. As part of its training that year, the division participated in both Carolina maneuvers of October and November before returning to Fort Devens on 6 December 1941. A day later, on 7 December 1941, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor and then the United States declared war. The division was ordered to Camp Blanding, Florida, as quickly as trains could be gathered and winter weather permitted, and arrived on 21 February 1942. The division was there reorganized and refurbished with new equipment, being redesignated as the 1st Infantry Division on 15 May 1942. Within a week, the division was returned to its former post at Fort Benning, from where it was expedited on 21 June 1942 to Indiantown Gap Military Reservation for wartime overseas deployment final preparation. The division departed New York port of embarkation on 1 August 1942, arrived in Bedminster in southwest England about a week later, and departed the 22nd of October 1942 for the combat amphibious assault of North Africa. As part of 2nd Corps, the division landed in Oran, Algeria on 8 November 1942 as part of Operation Torch, the Allied invasion of French North Africa. The 1st Division commander was Major General Terry de la Mesa Allen and Brigadier General Theodore Roosevelt, Jr. as Deputy Division Commander. Elements then took part in combat at Maktar, Taborba, Medjez el Bab, the Battle of the Kasserine Pass, and Gaftar. It then led the Allied assault in brutal fighting at El Ghetad Baya, and Matar. The 1st Infantry Division was in combat in the North African Campaign from 21 January 1943 to 9 May 1943, helping secure Tunisia. In July 1943, the division took part in Operation Husky invading Sicily, still under the command of Major General Allen. Lieutenant General George S. Patton specifically requested the division as part of his forces for the invasion of Sicily. It was assigned to the 2nd Corps. In Sicily, the 1st saw heavy action when making amphibious landings opposed by Italian and German tanks at the amphibious Battle of Gela. The 1st then moved up through the center of Sicily, slogging it out through the mountains along with the 45th Infantry Division. In these mountains, the division saw some of the heaviest fighting in the entire Sicilian campaign at the Battle of Troina, some units losing more than half their strength in assaulting the mountain town. On 7 August 1943, command was assumed by Major General Clarence R. Hubner. When that campaign was over, the division returned to England 5 November 1943 to prepare for the eventual Normandy invasion. The 1st Infantry Division and one regimental combat team from the 29th Infantry Division comprised the first wave of troops that assaulted German Army defenses on Omaha Beach on D-Day, with some of the division's units suffering 30% casualties in the first hour of the assault, and secured Formigny and Caumont in the beachhead by the end of the day. The division followed up the St. Lo breakthrough with an attack on Marigny, the 27th of July 1944, and then drove across France in a continuous offensive, reaching the German border at Aachen in September. The division laid siege to Aachen, taking the city after a direct assault on 21 October 1944. The 1st then attacked east of Aachen through the Hürtgen forest, driving to the Ruhr, and was moved to a rear area 7 December 1944 for refitting and rest following 6 months of combat. When the German Watt im Rhein offensive was launched on 16 December 1944, the division was quickly moved to the Ardennes front, fighting continuously from 17 December 1944 to 28 January 1945. The division helped to blunt and reverse the German offensive. Thereupon, the division attacked and again breached the Siegfried Line, fought across the Ruhr, 23 February 1945, and drove onto the Rhine, crossing at the Remagen bridgehead, 15-16 March. The division broke out of the bridgehead, took part in the encirclement of the Ruhr pocket, captured Paderborn, pushed through the Harz Mountains, and was in Czechoslovakia, fighting at Kinsperk, Sanjaburg, and Nikov when the war in Europe ended. 16 members of the division were awarded the Medal of Honor. The division lost 3,616 killed in action, 15,208 wounded in action, and 664 died of wounds. Order of battle 1944 45 HQs and HQs Company 1st Infantry Division HQs and HQs Battery Division Artillery Headquarters Special Troops Military Police Platoon 1st Cavalry Recon Squadron 1st CIC Detachment 1st Engineer Combat Battalion 1st Medical Battalion 1st Quartermaster Company 1st Signal Corps Company 5th Field Artillery Battalion 7th Field Artillery Battalion 16th Infantry Regiment 18th Infantry Regiment 26th Infantry Regiment 32nd Field Artillery Battalion 33rd Field Artillery Battalion 701st OD Light Meg Company 745th Tank Battalion at the 6th of June 1944, the 8th of May 1945, 634th Tank Destroyer Battalion at the 1st of August 1944, the 2nd of May 1945, 635th Tank Destroyer Battalion at the 7th of June 1944, the 30th of September 1944, 703rd Tank Destroyer Battalion at the 18th of December 1944, the 31st of December 1944, 103rd AAAAW Battalion at the 16th of June 1944, the 7th of February 1945, 103rd AAAAW Battalion at the 24th of February 1945 to 8 May 1945. Assignments in European and North African theatres. The 1st of February 1943, 2nd Corps, British 1st Army, 18th Army Group. July 1943, U.S. 2nd Corps, U.S. 7th Army, 15th Army Group. The 1st of November 1943, U.S. 1st Army. The 6th of November 1943, 7th Corps. The 2nd of February 1944, 5th Corps, 1st Army, British 21st Army Group. The 14th of July 1944, U.S. 1st Army. The 15th of July 1944, 7th Corps. The 1st of August 1944, 7th Corps, 1st Army, 12th Army Group. The 16th of December 1944, 5th Corps. The 20th of December 1944, attached, with the entire 1st Army, to the British 21st Army Group. The 26th of January 1945, 18th Airborne Corps, 1st Army, 12th Army Group. The 12th of February 1945, 3rd Corps. The 8th of March 1945, 7th Corps. The 27th of April 1945, 8th Corps. The 30th of April 1945, 5th Corps. The 6th of May 1945, United States 3rd Army, 12th Army Group.